All right, what a weekend of football. Chelsea stunned by West Ham, Man United humbled by Tottenham Hotspur,
Humble?
and yes, of
Yes,
course,
they
humbled
were
by
humble.
Tottenham
Yes.
Hotspur because they are not on the same page. I mean, they are not equals, they are not mates. Brighton, the young boys, still doing their thing, and
Yeah.
Manchester City,
As always, the
as
big boys.
always, they just told
I don't know
Newcastle.
where they're gonna go down.
No, they just told Newcastle, we're still in
It's
charge, no
not
matter
just
how much.
Newcastle, everyone.
Yeah, I mean, they are the ones they played, right? They played Newcastle this weekend, so pretty much they told Newcastle, um, we're still in charge, even though you spent that, how much and whatever you spent, you did well in your first game of the week, or first game of the season last weekend. But you come to the Etihad, we are the big boys.
Did you see? Speaking of Ittihad, did you see the celebrations before the game?
Oh, they brought out their their three trophies.
Yeah. Why are they doing it the second week?
That's their first home match.
Okay, makes sense.
Yes, it's their first home match, and that's to tell the visitors that
Right.
we are the kings of Europe, we are the kings of England, and we're also the king of the FA Cup. So,
Right. Right.
and that's what Newcastle will be aspiring. However, it's very far from them.
Oh no.
So, looking at what happened, Nottingham Forest started with a 2-1 victory over Sheffield United just to make sure that they start off well at home, which is very important. Whenever you start in your home game, your first home game of the season, I think it's very good that you win so that you give your fans something to cheer about. Unlike Chelsea, that had a tough one to start with by playing Liverpool, played well, 1-1 draw, and that's it. But again, Sheffield United traveling to Nottingham Forest. Nottingham Forest got the last minute goal and 2-1 win.
Speaking of Nottingham Forest, yeah, a good win for them. Their striker, what's his name?
Awoniyi?
He's such a good striker now.
Oh yeah.
Last year he was trying, but this year,
He has continued from where he stopped last year because it was his goals that saved them from being relegated.
yes. Last year his goals used to be like just a fluke, but this season, it's like he's putting in the effort and he's in the right place at the right time.
That's correct. And that's when you have a proper centre forward.
Yes.
Which the club like Chelsea Football Club are lacking a proper centre forward.
For a very long time.
Since Diego Costa left, no one else has been able to fit into there.
Speaking of center forwards, you said center forward, right?
Yeah, centre forward.
I think the only team who has a proper center forward is City.
Yeah, no, it's not only City. It's not only City, honestly speaking, because Nottingham Forest has a proper centre forward. The guy who is there, knowing that his job is to score goals, and that if he scores the goals, that his team will win, or at least his team will get a point.
Yeah.
He's not concerned about dropping into the midfield and doing all that stuff. His job is get into the box, score the goals, either with the head or with the feet, hold off the opposition, link up play, move into the box, every time in the box. The center forward that's always in the box is the center forward that will score goals. The center forward that is playing out of the box, he might get goals, but will not be enough compared to the player that is always inside the box. Kudos to Nottingham Forest.
Yeah, I just want to add one more thing.
Yeah.
They bought the player from Manchester United. I think that's also very good for Nottingham Forest. What's his name? Elanga?
Yes, Elanga. Yeah.
So he's made impact. Remember against Arsenal?
Yes.
He made that run.
From the wings. He has been good in coming in from the wings, and maybe on the bench is not yet maybe enough to start the games. But again, Nottingham Forest, they made a good impression to their fans, their first home game, and they got a win, and that's how you start your season. And then Fulham was beaten by Brentford. Brentford without Ivan Toney still flourishing, playing good football. Anyone that is playing in Ivan Toney's position, still doing his job. Mbeumo, the Cameroonian forward, he's got 2 goals, and I'm thinking, why didn't I get this guy into my fantasy team?
Right. Speaking of Fulham, Mitrovic is gone.
Yeah.
So, what do you think? Something's gonna affect on their game?
I think they will need to they will have to reinvest that money by going back into the transfer market and to get a replacement for Mitrovic, because
And he was also number 9, right? Center
Yes,
forward, yeah.
he's a center forward. The guy that has been playing as a backup for him when he got injured and also when he was banned. I think it was the end of last season. He got some game ban for some incitement on the ref yeah, I can't remember which game. So, but again, that guy will not be able to fill his shoes. Reason is because Mitrovic is a different class of player. He's been so loyal to Fulham.
A
Been
lot of fans
promoted
were
with
crying
their
actually.
yeah. They got promoted together and went down again. He
Yeah.
stayed. He was so loyal. But again, I didn't know he was just 28. I thought he was already in his 30s. But
Yeah, he's very young
going
still.
to Saudi at 28, well, it's the money that talks
Yeah,
because
yeah.
Ruben Neves from Wolves that went
He's
there,
26.
he's just 26. Wow. Well, every player these days, they play for the money. So it's not just about the badge anymore, it's for the money. So, well, congratulations to him on getting his move because he said he was never going to play for Fulham, but he came back and he played in that game for them last weekend, which they won. And he's not there, and they were hammered 3-0 by Brentford. Anyway, Brentford keeping their unbeaten run so far, 2 games, no loss, and 2
Same as last year. They started good.
That's good for Brentford. Liverpool, as we expected, they were to
With
beat
the game,
Bournemouth.
Even with the red card, they managed it well.
I mean, it's Liverpool.
It's Bournemouth, right?
It's Liverpool and it's
Yeah,
Bournemouth.
yeah,
It's Bournemouth.
And it
no
was not a
offense.
red card, right?
Yeah, no offense to Bournemouth, but again, they are different class.
Yeah.
The coach, the players, the club itself. So that's what makes Liverpool different. In this particular fixture because we all expected them to win. The guys that we expect to scored goals. Mo Salah scored. I think Diaz also scored.
Yeah, he scored.
And I think Szoboszlai scored as well. I can't remember. But Liverpool unbeaten, drew their first game, won their second game at home, 3-1 to start in front of their
I
fans.
picked Nunez, but he's not starting with him.
No, it's not. He's not going to start. He's not going to start.
Remember,
I think
that's the player that spent a lot of money on.
they spent a lot of money on the player.
Yeah.
I don't know. It doesn't. I don't know about that.
Last game against Chelsea, Nunez was better.
Yeah.
He put in some effort, like he had some chances at the end, but he's not a good finisher.
Yeah, again, you don't know the mindsets in which the player is coming into the next game with, right? Because again, that's where consistency is very important for every professional player. If you put in that effort in the first game, you've set a standard for yourself for the next one. So if you perform below that standard, you have yourself to blame or whatever that it is that's around you, which are the circumstances in which you performed below your own standard. But Liverpool got their 3 points and up they go. Brighton is the team that has started well. 1-2 out of
Not
2.
just well, very strong.
Very strong. 2 out of 2. Resounding victories, 4-1 in each of the games. 8 goals scored, 2 goals conceded.
Who
Even
did
Man
they
City.
score 4 goals last week?
I
I think it was Sheffield United.
think it was Sheffield United. I can't remember.
But still, like 4 goals. It's
Yeah, 4 goals, 4 goals. I mean, home 4 goals, away 4 goals.
And these 4 goals, it's not that they come at the very end. They start scoring in the first half,
No,
and they
they-
keep it scoring.
They just start their play.
Yeah,
They play, the goals is going to come. They are not like the team that are in a hurry. One good thing I think about Brighton is that being consistent is the key. They're not going to sleep, and they're not being overly excited that we're playing well. So I think they just keep a low head.
You know what I expected, that they were gonna going to do business with Mitoma, but Mitoma stayed. Nobody wants him. Like he must have gone like really high, like 100, 220, something like that. Yeah.
I think if there was anyone coming here, it would have been around that region, right? Because Mitoma was an outstanding player for Brighton
Even
last
last year,
season.
yeah.
He was so good. I mean, he completed most of the dribbles that he had one-on-one duels. He created a lot of chances as
Lots of
well.
assists. Yeah.
So, and also he has goals. He scored
Yeah.
goals. So it was not as if that he only was doing one thing. He's a complete player for Brighton.
Yeah.
And this season he has continued from where he stopped last
Yeah.
season.
Yeah. Do you think Brighton is contender for top four? I
It's
think thing
too
changes at the very end of the season.
it's too early to say, but
Yeah.
it's always good to start strong.
Yeah.
Brighton's goal will not be to finish top four. Brighton's goal will be to remain as a Premier League team.
Yeah.
That's a I would say I would comfortably say that is their goal, not to finish top four, but to keep Premier League status.
Yeah.
And in doing so, maybe finish top six, maybe finish top eight. Maybe they are playing the Europa League this season, so it will also tell on them because I don't know if they have depth in the squad to be able to keep to the to the weight of playing in Europe and also playing in the Premier League. Because it takes a toll on the team.
Yeah,
West Ham tried it last season; they were almost relegated, but they still came through.
Yeah.
And this season, West Ham will still be playing in Europe, so we still know, we'll still see, and that's why I think for these clubs that are playing in Europe is very, very important, especially the not big clubs like Brighton, West Ham, Aston Villa, that they start very well in the season. So when the European season starts, when the Champions League, the Europa League, the Europa Conference League, when this tournament or competition start, then they must have gotten enough points to keep them afloat while they're juggling between Europe and the local Premier League game. So, Brighton did their job. And
speaking of Wolves, which will bring us to the next game, Manchester. Wolves were really good against Manchester last week. And there was this saying that since Manchester was so bad against Wolves, they're going to be really bad against Tottenham, which is what happened.
Yes, it is very true. It's ironical, isn't it? That, remember, we were talking before that Man United may have performed well last season because the teams that they played were very poor. The team they played were very poor. So Wolves were good against a poor Man United team.
Yeah, and remember how they fell apart the midfield of United?
Yes.
Hokunia was running freely.
It was unbelievable last week.
Yeah.
And this weekend was terrifying.
I think it was expected, yeah.
It was terrifying. So the two games that they have played, yes, they've won one against Wolves, which was just lucky. I'll call it luck because Wolves, they even missed some clear chances to score and to put the ball.
And the penalty didn't
that tells you that Man United will definitely be struggling. One, they have not done well in the transfer market. The players that they have brought in, I don't think they will fill up the shoes or live up to the standard of what is expected of Man United players. So I think they were very, very poor against Tottenham this weekend. Tottenham outplayed them in every aspect and department of the game. Tottenham wanted it more. Again, maybe Tottenham because they've always been mocked, as a poor team, as a weak team.
Two things I noticed. So the coach that Tottenham has is coming from Celtic.
Yes,
and he helped them win two seasons in a row.
Yeah, back to back. Yes,
and I think he's done it well. I mean, it's still too early to tell, but even the last game was 2-2, right?
Yes, 2-2 against the Brentford.
Yeah, so I mean they were different. I mean, they're playing a different game and that they're more aggressive and holding the ball.
Yeah.
I mean, still Tottenham plays how Tottenham plays. They just try scoring from far. That's a very Tottenham style. They don't come close into the box as much as
but this team was a different one because if you see the goal they scored against Man United, their first goal, it was a well worked out goal.
Yeah.
They
brought in from the side.
And then the player that scored the goal was outside when the move started. He ended up in the 6 yards box to score the goal at the end of that move, and that was how he got the goal. So if you don't have players in the box No matter how much possession you want to have outside the box, it doesn't make any sense because you'll not be creating anything.
Yeah.
At the end, the teams find you more dangerous if you are threatening them all from inside their 18-yard box. How many touches you have in the 18-yard box, in the 6-yard box, that's how it will all matter.
Determines,
So,
yeah.
but
The other thing I was gonna say, why was there so much trash on the field? Did you notice that?
I think it was intentional. I
Yeah.
mean, the fans were throwing down the white stuff,
Yeah, I think it did affect Martinez. That's his name, right? He
Yeah,
scored his own
Martinez.
goal, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, it
That,
was a
that has
quick
nothing
but,
to do. But I don't think that
but
has
I don't know. I don't like when the field is trash. It was a trash field.
Yeah, I mean, it's the fans that were doing
Yeah.
that.
And
Maybe
I
it was
think
their
they were
own
doing on purpose. Yeah.
It was their own way of like distracting Man
Intimidating,
United, and it was on the Man United side of goal that they were doing all of that. So, and also Man United was away, right? So the home fans have to do whatever they have to do.
Yeah.
It is not nice to do that if it's not fair play, which is what the game stands for as well.
Yeah.
But these days, not everyone does fair play.
And I think Manchester United also was playing with fire, especially how Onana is also playing. Do you know there's this new trend, the sweeper keeper?
Yeah, it's always been there. I mean, Manuel Neuer has always been a sweeper keeper.
Yeah.
He's an extra player on the field. Onana is good. Onana threw in a very good diagonal.
Yes, he did.
But the
And they
guy
didn't
did
take
not, there was no
advantage of that,
end product from that. So that's the advantage that you have by having a goalkeeper that's good with his feet. Because he can move the team up, still throw an accurate long-range pass, not just to kick the ball, but to give a good long-range pass, which he did, and there was no end product to that. Man United were terrible in their midfield. Their midfield is collapsed. Maybe Casemiro, Bruno Fernandes, Mason Mount.
Yeah.
There's an imbalance in their midfield in terms of energy, in terms of strength.
Yeah, they do bring what's his name? Who got a heart attack? What's his name?
Ericsson.
Yeah, they do bring him, but they do bring him later in the game.
Yes.
But again, he's also very sloppy. Like how he missed that when he could have become a goal.
Yes.
Yeah. So I don't know. The midfield is collapsing.
I think Man United needs some physical strength in their midfield to be able to compete in the Premier League this season, because if they're only depending on Casemiro to do the dirty work for them, Mason Mount does not tackle, Bruno Fernandes will never tackle.
No.
So if you leave that only to one person to do the job, then the midfield will suffer. And any team that has a suffering midfield, they will be
we talked about
susceptible
this
to.
before.
Yes.
For the first half, they can do it, but the second half, they're done.
Yeah, because energy level has gone down, and
Yeah.
you need that for 90 minutes to be able to compete. That's the problem with Man United. And Eric Ten Hag has to find solution as quick as possible, because I think next fixture for them is against Newcastle. That's going to be a difficult one for them. So if they don't find solution, they need to find solution in the attack. They need to have a proper center forward, not Marcus Rashford, not what's he called? Because yesterday they played
Garnacho,
Rashford, and Anthony on the left. They need someone. I don't know why that's if they were able to get the guy from Atalanta from Italy, the Norwegian, is it Norwegian or Danish striker?
I don't know.
That they were comparing him with Haaland. They need to get in that guy, or
Well, he's not still here.
I don't know. I don't know
But
if
his name starts with the H, right? That
Yeah,
one, right?
yeah,
I
I
think they've done the deal. No?
if they've done the deal. Why has he
I
not
think
played?
I think they're trying to bring Amrabat now. In the
Amrabat
midfield. Yeah.
in the midfield, because they need that energy.
They
in the
do
midfield.
need that
They
energy.
do need that energy in the
Yeah.
midfield.
And he does have that.
Yes,
Yeah.
we saw it in the World
But
Cup.
again, when you come to United, especially from a different league, like to English Premier League, it's not. You can never guess like if it's gonna work out.
I mean, you
Like
have a couple of
Casemiro
sessions.
was fine in La Liga because it's a different game, and now he's not working.
I mean, you need a couple of sessions to be able to up to the tempo of the Premier League.
Sessions or seasons?
Yeah, no, you don't need seasons. No, your job is to come and perform. You don't need seasons because the team is not going to be waiting around for you to get all of that sorted out. It's the job of the player to get in and get ready.
Yeah.
It's the job of the player. Go to the training sessions, do your own one-on-one session. I mean, they give them fitness trainers to be able to get them match fit, especially for the ones that just came in
Yeah.
and maybe they have not trained with the team. So they get them ready so that once they train with the team, they are up and running. I mean, the game is one language wherever you go to. It's just you getting your head up to communicate with a player and make a pass. Accuracy in your pass. If you have accuracy in your passes, what are we even talking about with like team chemistry and all of that? It's just people just being able to be smart and, make proper decisions on the field. It doesn't matter, if you've not played with the team before. It's you getting your head up and making an accurate pass or taking a shot and doing it well or defending and winning the ball back. What else is there in terms of chemistry and all of that? Because the team will not be waiting. If they're waiting, they'll be going down the table, right?
Yeah. Again, Manchester United has a long way, and we discussed before that. I think time is ticking for Ten Hag.
Yeah. I mean, this will be a very, very testing
I think the
season
expectation this season is that
it's going to be high.
Manchester in top 1 or 2.
Yes. Again, I mean, United's expected to win their games all the time and be on top of the league all the time. But anyway, since Alex Ferguson left, it has not been the same. Anyway, Newcastle and Manchester City. Newcastle visiting the Etihad. It was a game of who actually is the boss with all the new signings, with all the new ownership, and
what's interesting with this game is that I thought, since a lot of players are out for City, Walker, KDB, Bernardo Silva, I thought it was going to be a different game, but it was not a different game. City did not lose any possession. In the first half, they had full possession, like most of the possession, and Newcastle struggled. The front line of Newcastle was invisible.
Of course. I mean, City is a well-drilled, well-trained team. Tactically,
in every line.
In every,
defense, mid, strike.
From goalkeeper to defense to midfield and to the attackers, they all know what they are doing. There's no clueless play on the pitch. Yeah. Everyone knows what their job is.
I think their training has something like Kovacic just came on.
That's and he's
playing about. Like he's been playing with them for like 2 years.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, right?
He played like Bernardo Silva.
Where's the chemistry? No, you get in there, you see the team, you train with the team, you know what the team is like, and you get on there and you do your job.
Yeah.
And that's what Kovacic has been doing.
I think it all goes back to the coaching and the manager.
Absolutely.
What he asks you to do.
You have to do. Yeah. If you don't play what Pep wants you to play, you're out.
You're out, yeah.
It doesn't matter how much they signed you. It doesn't matter how many goals that you scored before.
Mm-hmm.
That's past for him. He wants the present and into the future. And that is what makes City different from every other team. Because players do what exactly their manager tells them to do. Yeah. They're not there thinking, okay, I'm going to do it my way. Maybe it works. And then when it works, like, oh, I was right. And
no,
then
I don't think he lets any player do whatever they want to do.
No, you have to play his way.
No.
You have to play his way.
He also dictates who's going to take the penalty to that point. Like, he's like so hard on
it. That's the job of the coach to say, okay, he is the team's penalty taker. In any game, he's the one that takes it. If he's not there, this person is the person that is taking the penalty.
No, I'm speaking. If you remember, he was angry at Haaland.
Last season, right?
Last game. Even Haaland scored 2 goals, and at the halftime, he was like furious. Like, why did you not score more goals?
Yeah,
like, I mean, he has this idea in his head. He
has a very, very high standard.
And that's exactly what it is.
Players who have high standards for themselves who can play for Pep. And also who are willing to keep to the high standards of
Pep. I think that's what the biggest difference between other clubs. Like other clubs do have players and they do business, they pay money, but then when they come in, the high standards are not there to like set for the players.
Honestly, I think Man City, yes, Man City is doing their business again. They are trying to maybe repeat what they did last season. Yeah. But you can only start
Guardiola
gradually.
Played too, right? That their new centre back?
Yeah, Gaviado.
He's centre back, right?
Yeah, he played centre back. And that's why Akanji was in the midfield. Like, what the heck? Akanji in the midfield. Doing John Stones type of stuff.
Yeah.
And
they didn't, like, Ake is also very strong.
Ake is strong. He did not even play. Yeah. I think he was injured.
I don't know. too strong, too much
Yeah,
strength.
it's. I mean, Newcastle. We saw them in their first game. They were flying, destroying Aston Villa back and forth in every area of the game. Came to City. City was a different, being, and they just
Yeah,
outplayed
yeah.
Newcastle, dominated the game again. That's one chance they got. They put it away,
Yeah.
and that was the only goal they needed.
Yeah.
So if Newcastle wanted to sit all the way back and defend all they wanted, City will have the ball and all of that. And at the end of the day, it's 3 points that's important, and then goals. So
And if you remember, that's what happened in the Champions League.
yeah,
Inter Milan, the same thing happened. Newcastle were really good at stopping Holland for like, I don't know, 60, 70 minutes. And then there's one space and they use it. Exactly same happened in Champions League.
Yeah.
One space, Rodri scored.
yeah, that's it.
So,
That's it.
you know.
And that's the team that knows that if you don't take your chances, it's going to come back to hurt you. So any minimum chance, any slight chance you have,
You take it to the full
just
extent.
take it.
And that means that if we go back to Manchester United when what's his name, Bernardo Silva? No.
Yeah.
Fernandes.
Bruno Fernandes.
Yeah, he's missed it.
He missed that header.
That's the
He missed a
difference.
clear chance
You
header.
don't miss it. Imagine Holland in that space.
Oh,
He's
no.
never missing it.
Oh, yeah, talking of Haaland. Just say Foden. Foden was exceptional.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah.
that was that about City that are flying high, 2 out of 2. James same like Brighton, 2 out of 2, and they are going forward. Chelsea today failed against West
Do you
Ham.
think it's a failure?
I think it's a failure. Yes, it's a failure because one, the amount of money that has been invested in that team. That's one. That should be a desire. That should be a hunger in the team to be able to perform and to win. There are a few people who had that hunger. Sterling was exceptional today. I will give that to him. Enzo Fernandez was also good.
Yeah.
Nicholas Jackson was good. My only problem is that he's not in the box. As a striker, you need to be in the box. You need to be in the box.
Does he fall back to?
He drops back. Yes, he drops back, gets the ball. But again, when Sterling was driving forward,
You have to be in the box.
there's no one else in the box. The striker must be in the box. The left winger must be in the box. Or the left attacking winger must be in the box because Chelsea were playing with a back three. So you had Mikhailo Modric after Kane Chukwuemeka left. Kane Chukwuemeka was in the box. That was how he got the goal he scored. So we were all going forward after we tied that one. The moment that Kane Chukwuemeka got injured and was substituted, Chelsea went flat.
Yeah.
Chelsea went flat.
You know what happens in the box? The defenders are more cautious.
They are more cautious.
Because
Anything can
penalty
happen.
can happen.
Penalty,
So they
own
give you
goal,
space. They're
anything.
like they put their hands back, but if you're not in the box, they will just block you
They will just block it.
and push you back.
Yes.
So that's a mind. I think that's a mindset that is set in the training. That I think some coaches ask their teams, "I want you to take every shot in the box, nothing outside the box." But yeah,
Yeah, I mean, again, when you have a team that sits too deep, then you can shoot from outside. But Chelsea, we don't have shooters as well. There was
Yeah,
no shot from outside
I think
today.
Kovacic was the only shooter.
Yeah, then. But
Yeah.
he's not a City player.
Yeah.
There's no one shooting from outside. Everyone will pass. We had possession, 78% possession. 78%.
Go front, come
Just
back.
sideways.
Back.
We tried to go. We even got them red card. Chelsea got
no.
Aguerd sent off from West Ham, red card, and still we didn't try to penetrate there. We did not exploit that. We did not take advantage of that. Why?
Yeah.
Again, the substitutions were not working. All the substitutions Chelsea made were not working.
Yeah.
And when you make those, I was talking to you right before now. We had like the discussion of why was he still playing with a back three after they got one man sent off? Remove the back three, switch to a back 4, play with an extra striker, an attacking player, and remove Thiago Silva or maybe Disasi. Just remove one of them, and then let them keep playing.
Yeah.
But it didn't happen. I mean, kudos to West Ham. They had their options. They took them. The goals they scored,
Yeah.
the goals they scored, counter attacks, right? The first one was a set piece. We are never good at defending set
No,
pieces, especially corner kick. And when it is taken by James Ward-Prowse, the best set piece taker in England or even in the whole world for me.
And the way the position that he put it is really hard.
Yeah.
Because it's on the far side of the goal.
That's right. He provided the assist for the first goal with the corner kick, and also the second goal.
Oh, he was
Here he
was
provided
seven.
the assist for the second goal
Wow.
when he played it through to Michael Antonio.
Yeah.
Again, the physicality of the West Ham team paid off for them.
But I think there was also a blunder in the defense. The
It was a
clearance
blunder.
was not
You
good.
didn't take overthinking, and that's what happens when you have three centre backs with you.
Yeah, yeah.
Because if it was just two centre backs, you gotta be like awake, stay awake. Okay, because we're only two. But like you have, okay, I have Colway here, and I have Disasi here, and Disasi was going to take the ball, but he didn't. I would just clear that ball away,
Yeah.
not just to hold it and try to keep possession. Clear it away because you were not completely in charge of the ball. There was pressure on you, and that's how they lost it. Boom, played it back. WordPress played one touch. Boom, took him on. Boom, boom, out, took a shot.
Yeah,
Again,
yeah.
they scored.
Yeah.
And 10 men down, Chelsea couldn't penetrate, and they still got a penalty against Chelsea, and they made it 3-1.
I think the changes should have happened right when West Ham got red card, right then and there. Like that's when the game changed. But my we've talked about this before, that my biggest problem is that why bring Casido when the pressure is so high?
Yes,
On top of that, now he's
Caicedo maybe shouldn't have started. Maybe he shouldn't have even played.
Yeah.
He shouldn't have even played.
Yeah, especially bringing him in a place where there's so much pressure.
It was
now,
so much
I was
pressure.
gonna feel so bad that
Yes.
he conceded the penalty.
I know he's a very good player, talented, professional, but again, that will affect his, confidence a little bit.
Confidence, yes,
A little bit. I know it's not going to be much because you know that he's a good player.
Yeah. Good
and he's
players
gonna
don't
get
care
over
about
it.
one game.
Yes,
Yeah.
but again, he will look back to his debut, and it will be a debut to forget, right? So that's what happens in such situation. I thought maybe he would have played someone that has had preseason with the team, working hard to be part of the team and all of that. But,
You know what I think? There is still a lot of decision making coming from the top in Chelsea, especially from the owner, which affects the entire game.
why? Why do you think that?
Because this is an ongoing trend. Like when you buy a player and then use them in a situation, you know what the conversation happens at the end of the day is like the owner goes in the room and say, "Oh, I spent this much money. Show me the results."
Yeah,
Instead of, because I think he's still learning. This is a long game versus more like immediate gains.
yeah,
It's good for Chelsea that they sold players to Saudi League, but it's also a bad thing because he still gives an impression that, even though I have made some bad transfers, but I can just sell it and then save my money. But I don't know. I think in like this was the problem with Tottenham. The owner used to think in more like in terms of.
I mean, I think yes, there will be the pressure of having spent money, and you need gains.
Yeah,
When you invest, you need to get money back. You need to get points. You need to win games. You need to be on top of the table. That's expected. But again, it doesn't just work like that, right?
Yeah.
Because again, Caicedo has not played in 60 days, and he did not even play for Brighton in this preseason. I think he played 1 or 2 games, but in 2 months he hasn't played any game. So I think anyway, I'm positive with Chelsea. The manager there, I think he's a knowledgeable manager. It's not that I think he's a knowledgeable manager.
Yeah, he is.
So and I believe that he's going to get the best out of the players, but how? He has to demand what he wants from them. He cannot just like, he cannot just be their father. He's got to demand something from them. I need you in the box. I need you in the box all the time. You have to be you must be in the box. You must arrive with the same time that the player on the ball is dribbling and going forward. You cannot be, you must have to be in the box. So he has to demand some things from some certain players for them to start performing. Mikhailo Modric has been awful this past 2 games. He just needs to get his head in and play football. I know that there are a lot of things going outside his control, outside his football world, being from Ukraine and all of that. But again, He's in business. He's at work. He has to focus. He has to try to do things that will be favorable for the team, play for the team, get in the box, take every chance you get to score goals, score the goals. Maybe you must not have to go at Ferrari speed all the time. Sometimes you can like slow down a little bit, be calculative of your moves or the moves of the opposition, because he had a chance against Liverpool. Today he had a chance, he just skied the thing away, and he has not performed.
Yeah.
He has this season to show that he is worth starting a game.
Yeah. The advantage Chelsea has this year is they're not playing European League.
Yeah, we're not playing in Europe, so
they did play last year. So
hopefully that will help. But it's
in
not
the later
always like
stages
that.
of the season, yeah,
It's not always like that. So, but we'll see. Anyway, to wrap it up, Everton was destroyed by Aston Villa.
Destroyed, yeah,
Destroyed.
that's the
I
right
think my I'm not gonna dwell on them and analyze their game because it was just a one-sided game. Aston Villa scored at every opportunity that they had to score. And that puts John Dyke, their coach, in a very, very precarious situation. And I think he might be the first manager to lose his job.
Yeah, I think we talked about this before. If they lose a game against the newly promoted teams,
Yes.
then
It will be game over for him.
It's game over. Yes, then you have to go.
Well, tomorrow Arsenal plays Crystal Palace. I'm giving Arsenal the 3 points. I think they are much more better team. They are considered to be one of the title contenders, which I don't really know. I don't think so.
I don't know what's going on with Arsenal. The first week they played, I didn't see the same Arsenal, so we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
I mean, again, against Crystal Palace, they can win.
Yes,
but they have to be tested.
And I think they are playing home, right? I think they're playing.
No, they're
at
going
home.
to our Crystal Palace.
They're away at
Yeah.
They're away at Crystal Palace. So it's at Selhurst Park. It's a noisome place, but whatever. All the best to them because I have two of their players on my fantasy team.
Yeah, I think last season Crystal Palace away games were was a draw.
Yeah.
Yeah. Arsenal.
Well, we'll see what happens. Zaha is normal there, so it's a new look Crystal Palace, but they have very, very good players too. Anyway, guys, that's all we have for you this season. Not this season. Oh, we just barely started. This weekend. Please, if you're new to this channel, do us the favor of subscribing, and if you're watching, please click the like button. And we look forward to seeing you next weekend.
See you next week.